Hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Wow, lots and lots of talk around the planets are moving, and last time they were there was civil war in the United States. This whole ice Minnesota thing has popped up. I'm not American, so I have no opinion what's going on. Because I don't quite understand it, that's all. So when I don't understand something, it's kind of difficult to have an opinion about it. Like I understand the basics of it, but I don't understand the ins and outs, the legalities, etc., etc. Anyways, will there be a civil war in the United States in the next 24 months? Right? So this planetary energy has just hit. We're having an eclipse and stuff, and let's find out. Will there be a civil war in the United States within the next 24 months? So we're going to be looking for lots of wands, that's military. We'll be looking for the chariot, that's a general. We'll be looking for attacking kind of cards, devil kind of cards, tower. That's what we'll be looking for. I always like telling people what we're looking for, and then that way, they can see for themselves. Also, it's a good training and teaching. I know a lot of people watch the channel because they want to learn tarot. All right. So we'll also be looking for the word no, which is the aces in reverse. Okay. Will there be a civil war in the United States within the next 24 months? Will there be another civil war within the United States within the next 24 months? Shall we begin? Oh, cooperation, planning. It's also teaching and explaining. But here's the thing, the Three of Pentacles is in a dark room. It almost feels like backroom deals to me. Sometimes it can come out like that. Right? You think of a classroom, it's got big windows and bright, or at least bright lights, right? And this is dark. It's almost giving a basement or a hidden feel. It looks like there's talks. Now, are the talks to prevent a civil war or talks of peace? What's going on here? Are people, just paying attention to what people are saying and what people are doing? Interesting. I've never really noticed that before, but it almost looks like he's holding a spotlight onto what these plans are. See this one holding plans, paper, like a blueprint, and it's like there's the spotlight. That's why I read intuitively. I try and see what the cards are trying to convey to me, not necessarily what the card actually means. I do a lot of symbology, and I think that has to do with my reading difficulties, is that I learned symbols and photo reading. And I'm wondering if the spotlight is on plans. So has somebody come to the table with plans to have a civil war? Or is someone coming to the table how to stop the civil war? Let's continue to read. Ooh, 9 of Swords. Lots of people are losing a lot of sleep over this. A lot of anxiety in the air. A lot of anxiety in the air. Strength. Okay, so that tells me no. The people who are really screaming for war or civil war, they will be tamed. And by a Leo, not necessarily, but you look at the strength card, it's the strength to close that lion's mouth, and this is ego as well. So it's like taming the rhetoric. That's what I'm hearing. Judgment, second chances, announcements, wake up call, clearing up your karma so you can start again. And King of Swords, there's the politician. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this is the politician, also King of Swords is our is President Trump. I was going to say is our president, who is currently president, but it also going to be a higher politician. I think he would come up as the emperor in this reading, to be honest. The King of Swords could be like the governor of Minnesota. I don't know if it's going to start in Minnesota. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say cooler heads will prevail. Honestly, cooler heads will prevail. It's interesting that the King of Swords came up because Abraham Lincoln was a King of Swords and he was the last president when there was a civil war. Now, none of these cards show me war. So this is telling me, and I've explained how my readings go. The top rows, all the way down to the bottom, are what's going on in the universe, in the field, in the source, the energies that are around. When I read at the bottom, that is actual physical actions that humans are taking. So when we're looking at what's in the field, what are the energies? There's lots of worries about what's going on, and people are having sleepless nights and lots of anxiety about what's going on. But I think here cooler heads will prevail. There's no war cards here at all. At all. At all. It shows me that, oh, this one popped out. That would be the next one played. It shows me that the cooler heads are going to prevail. There's going to be wake up calls. There's going to be second chances. And if you look at these, they're happy to have a second chance. Peaceful. Peaceful. So these are announcements that the government makes to stop it. I'm going to say, yeah, here's the embattled. And, looking over your shoulder. This is the battle that's been going on for a while. But it looks like, and we have 2 9s here. So an end to the anxiety. And if you look at like this, she's holding her head in her hands, like upset. And here she gets, or he or they get over it. There's the bandage. So these are both very strong mental energy cards. And it's just looking over your shoulder, setting up boundaries, so perhaps borders, which is the whole, as I understand it, what started all of this was borders. So having healthy, strong borders, watching and making sure that, things don't happen again, and being really embattled, and watching your back, Yeah, look at that, an 8, like working on it, getting the smart people around, getting the masterful people. Like, I'm not going to say this is a leadership card, but it is definitely like somebody who's working on it, a diplomat. That would be like a really top level diplomat. Also, getting people to work and getting them busy. Nobody wants, all of a sudden they're working and they're making money. Perhaps they weren't, and now they don't want to disrupt that. So I think it's just going to get back to being the back to business. That's what I want to say, back to business. There's the offer on top of the second chances. There's the knight in shining armor. There's the offer, the peace offering almost. I'm looking for the temperance card for the peace offering, but there's going to be offers here. They're going to calm people down a lot. They're going to be embattled. They're not buying right into it. They're watching their back. They're watching for other signs. But there's going to be some kind of offering here. Oh, there's the devil. There's the devil. Let's see, what's the card that goes with, oh, surprising good news. Okay, so I think that this devil card here is telling us that you're kind of just stuck with what is. And, sometimes, and if we have 2 mental cards here, and the Saturn card is touching these 2 cards, this is Saturn, that people are, they're kind of stuck in their ways of thinking. And that's not serving any purpose for anything, because you can eat both sides. There's two here, both sides. I'm not just saying one. I'm saying, the mental part of this is being stuck in your convictions. And Saturn is like that. Saturn will keep you stuck in your convictions, good habits or bad habits. And you look both sides here, you can easily change your mind about things, or, take on a new idea or any of that, but people just really don't want to. And here's the Page of Cups. Interesting, we have the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups. It almost feels like there's some kind of peace offering to me, that it's like, hey, we can't go further with this. Like, um, why is there such a division? That's what, the devil does, is divides people, so you don't think you're one. Also, this is Capricorn, and Capricorn rules governments. So maybe it's a heavy hand of the government that comes down. Um, I'm not sure, but it's something here that people just feel like they're just really stuck in this battle. Also, the devil is lies, lies upon lies. So one side is kind of trying to show you a different way to look at things, a different option. With this Knight of Cups and this Page of Cups coming in. Look at the Page of Cups is presenting to the devil. You know what? There's a different way of looking at this. Or you know what? Here's a bit of a compromise. Or you know what? This is what this and this and this. So the page isn't particularly a strong card, but it is kind of an offering. The page takes what the knight is coming with and goes, here, let me see if this will help. Oh, another Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so I think there's going to be almost a media blitz in some respects. An offering of a compromise, a middle ground, something that everybody can live with. As with this Page of Pentacles, like I think this is like offers. So there might even be like an offer of money, for people to, I'm not going to say calm down, for people to leave peacefully, right? We have lots of peace on this side. Perhaps the government says, yeah, you're right, this isn't working. Again, excuse my ignorance, I'm not really tuned in to the ins and outs. We don't have ice in Canada. We don't have anything like that in Canada. So I don't quite understand. Like, I could never see our military going into somewhere and trying to round people up. I'm not saying what they've done is right or wrong. I can't wrap my head around it because we don't have that here. So that's where I don't quite understand what's going on, what level of government it is, if it's regular. Anyways, I think there might be an offer, a peace offer that, rather than, here's $10,000 for you to leave and go back home and start a new life. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm telling you that's what the cards are telling me. And here is the Three of Pentacles, and here is the offer, and here's the government. So I think the government here, to calm things down, they might give an offer of some kind of cash incentive to leave, rather than how they're doing it right now, if I understand what's going on. All right. I think there's going to be some kind of cash incentive offer, like, I don't know. Here's some money to go settle back home, or, but there's some kind of settlement here. There's something coming in monetary fund. Wow, 10 of Swords in reverse. The Moon, Four of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. Okay, I think that this is not going to end well for anybody. This is the current energies right now. You even look at this is going to go on through the winter. Look at the snow. Look at the snow. I think there's going to be more deaths. And I think it's going to go on until about springtime before somebody comes and says there's got to be a better way. But this is the home card. So I'm standing by that. I think there's going to be an offer for people to go home. And I know, stop right there. You're oh, this is their home. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm sorry. I have been an immigrant in 2 countries. I didn't have my Canadian citizenship legally until I was 24, 25. I immigrated to Spain as well. So I understand what it's like to be an immigrant, but all times I've done it legally. And anybody who's coming to my country, they're welcome as long as they do it legally. If you are gaming the system, if you are here illegally, I want the authorities to remove you, to go back home and apply and to do it properly. And I think that is, if that's alt-right or Nazi to you or whatever, please leave my channel, because I just want everybody to live above the law. I don't care what the law is. If the law is, you don't sell drugs, you don't sell drugs. If the law is you don't murder people, you don't murder people. That's the way I was raised. You follow the law of the land. And if the law of the land says you can't stay here because you're illegal, you haven't gone through the process, then you need to leave. I'm sorry. And I don't care what the law is. If you're breaking the law, you need to answer to that. And if that's radical to you, or if that's far right or whatever, so be it. I'm not going to change your mind. I'm not going to change your mind. I don't want to. I'm not here. As Jason says, I'm not here to save the world. So I think this is going to go on for the rest of the winter, but I think there's going to be an offer for people. I think the government at some point is going to say enough, and there's going to be another option. And I think the option is, you know what? It's costing us overtime for all these ICE, overtime for all the law enforcement, military, whatever they do to get them in there, or to do whatever they're doing. Maybe it's costing a few lives. It's getting kind of out of hand. They're going to say enough. Okay, what's another option here? It's right here. They're looking at all their options. And I think one of the options will be to do it peacefully and say, okay, we understand you don't want to leave, but you have to leave, because go home and fill out the forms properly and legally, and we'll take it from there. And sorry, like I said, I've been an immigrant, and everything was done legally and above board, and it did take a while, and it did take a lot of paperwork, but I was legal wherever I lived. And I think, and that's to another country where I didn't know the language, so don't give me that. If you think you can do anything in English in Spain, I dare you to go there. Just try it. There's nothing English in Spain. It's all Spanish. So I had to do everything with Spanish forms, with translators. I don't know Spanish. I don't know anything. All I know is in Mexico is por favor, dos cerveza, por favor. And then when I got to Spain, it was vino tinto, por favor. So I think this is going to go on all for the rest of the winter. And then, of course, we have spring starting in March and April. And this is also the spring card. This is Aries time, the 4 of Wands. So maybe late April, they'll finally come up with a solution. But I don't see any war cards here at all. No civil war in the next 24 months. Right now, the energies are saying no, there won't be. Thank you very much for watching. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.